It's time. Hello everybody and welcome to OMM Season 1 event number 8, and joining us the finale, Pentathlon. Rules will be explained in a second. Here are the standings after event 7. G-Force and Red Devil are tied, Inferno sitting 10 points behind. Not really much in the championship between those three. Atlantique though is far off in 4th. Here are the event rules: 5 separate events, normal point system, most points wins. The events are obstacle race, funnel endurance, block geoling, rocky drag, which has already been in the season, and also marathon, which has kind of already been in the season. Here is Heat 1, Obsidian, Moss, a championship contender, G-Force, and Pineapple. They are of Obsidian and Pineapple for a good start. Obsidian gets overtaken by Pineapple. Can G-Force do the same? Yes, G-Force can, and G-Force will get second in the heat. It's more about time though, so we'll have to see how that plays out during the rest of the event. Mossy and Effing, G-Force quickly getting a time of 7.77. Pretty hard to beat actually. Can Red Devil do that? Red Devil tied on points as mentioned before. They're up against Mercedes and Grasshopper, who are both beating them. But look at Grasshopper and Red Devil overtake Mercedes, who was leading. They'll be getting the top 2. Interstellar, this was dead last the whole time. Mercedes is getting stuck for a second. Not really the best, however, it's all about the time. Mercedes and Interstellar got a really bad time. Red Devil will beat out G-Force. Grasshopper will provisionally take second place. Into Heat 3, Harbour, Crocodile, Inferno, also another championship contender, and Tropical Punch, who is fast replaced the pack. And they're leading in an event where it does not matter. They are 4 minutes down. Harbour will be getting, that is another DNF, that is shocking. Inferno, just like all the other championship contenders, gets second. Crocodile not far behind though. And provisionally, that's first for Tropical Punch. Inferno sitting in, I don't know where that is, but that's the worst time for second places so far. Atlantique, Werewolf, Polar Bear, and Halloween. Werewolf, unique uniform this time round because it is their final event, alongside with Polar Bear, who's also in this heat. Halloween is actually, no changes have really happened. It's gone Halloween, Polar Bear, Werewolf, and Atlantique. That whole race, Atlantique was really good during the season, just has fallen off as of late. Will probably get overtaken by the end of the event with this pace. Halloween also getting a slow time for a heat winner. Apparently Tropical Punch is good now. They will win the event. Moss gets a goose egg. Pineapple in second. Grasshopper in third. I think Grasshopper is in contention for a podium. And here is the provisional top 3. Red Devil will be beating out G-Force by a singular point. How will that play out in event number 2? Funnel endurance. I say event, but really it's just a part. We're straight into the action. Moss, Crocodile, Harbour, G-Force, Tropical Punch, Obsidian, Pineapple, and Inferno, all in this first heat. Look like a rat there. And that will be Harbour once again struggling, followed by Inferno, Obsidian, and G-Force also there crucially. I say crucially, Obsidian not that much actually. Speaking of Obsidian, probably sitting in dead last in Triple Funnel, which I will say is really quick. Now it's G-Force struggling alongside another championship contender, Inferno. G-Force with a tiny comeback there. However, is going to get beaten out by Inferno, I think. Yeah, Inferno holding on for quite a while there. I think Tropical Punch has to win. No, they're the 7th marble. There's Crocodile, who will win the heat, and that will probably be a really good time if we think about it. Here's the replay. You can see Moss and Harbour were really battling out, and then Moss just falls off the pace, which I guess is good. There, G-Force and Pineapple having a little school wobble. G-Force gets 5th. Not sure how that will play out in the championship. Grasshopper, Red Devil, Atlantique, Interstellar, Polar Bear, Werewolf, Halloween, and Mercedes in the final heat, which is also the second heat of this event. Look at Red Devil up there. This is exactly what Red Devil wants for the championship. However, look at that. Red Devil almost just plummets down the order. They get a comeback and the marbles get stuck. Luckily it's freed in a second. The order does shake up with that though. Atlantique, I can see in the yellow funnel, dominantly leading the pack. I think actually they might be in second. Grasshopper and Halloween up there. Look at Red Devil in... Oh, it's second actually. That is Atlantique leading the way. Good for Red Devil in this heat. They'll probably be getting, which does still beat out G-Force, and will extend that lead in the championship. Not a podium exactly, but still good. Here's the replays. There's the big pack of marbles. You can see Halloween just goes off. And Antique wins the heat. Red Devil second. And Werewolf in third. Apparently Tropical Punch is really good now. They get a third place. Crocodile wins the event. Atlantique gets second. There's Tropical Punch soaring to a victory and a bronze right there. And getting 40 points. Harbour sitting in dead last. Here's the championship as it stands. That lead extends to 2 points now as we move on to event 3. Block dueling. As you can see, they go through the 2 quadrilla things and into the ruler bits, which is, well, the middle of it is at 8 centimetres. Here we go, Moss and Obsidian. And Obsidian will win by exactly 1 centimetre as we move on to G-Force v Pineapples. Had a squab last time. Who will win? G-Force. Wow. 3 centimetres in that. Red Devil and Grasshopper. This is crucial in the event and championship. Grasshopper will just about beat out Red Devil. Interesting. Interstellar and Mercedes now. Mercedes, I feel, will win this, and I do think so. Yes, by 0.5 centimetres. It's just getting progressively closer since that dominant win by G-Force. Harbour and Crocodile now. Harbour finally wins something by 2.7 centimetres. Inferno and Tropical Punch. Inferno. Oh no! Gets beaten out by Tropical Punch. Once again, Tropical Punch winning something. Not really what you can see from Tropical Punch usually. Werewolf will now dominantly beat out Atlantique. This time by 0.1 centimetre more than Harbour. Halloween and Polar Bear. Final heat actually. Halloween will win by 2.5 centimetres now. That event went really quickly. G-Force wins it, and they will go up to second, overtaking Red Devil in the standings and extending that difference to 9 points. As you can see, there's a disclaimer in the top right, which shows that Red Devil actually has 104 points. We now move into Rocky Drag, the penultimate event, the one that decides it all. Here are the event rules. It's really just the same as it was in whatever it was. Event 2 it was actually. G-Force up first. Championship leader as it stands. Yeah, it's alright, I guess. 82 centimetres for the marble. Red Devil now. Shooting past. We know Red Devil did it really well in event number 2. 102 centimetres. That's past where the original tape ended. Inferno. Just basically say they're not in the championship anymore. 41 centimetres. Atlantique, will they get 67 again? I think they might have. No, 62 this time round. They just love the 60s for some reason. Now, Obsidian. Obsidian's an alright marble, I guess. Go for the crack. Almost in the ground there. 75 centimetres. Not the best so far. Now, Grasshopper. Oh, that was pretty good. 87 centimetres. I feel like they could have possibly gone further, but maybe not. Crocodile. Gets stuck in the crack, which I said about, which is 88 centimetres. Halloween. Halloween's been a mid-marble this season. And a mid-finish this event. 47 centimetres. Not dead last so far. That can go to Inferno. Probably Moss as well, actually. I called it. Moss joined with, who was it? Inferno, who I was just speaking about. My memory is so short. Now, Interstellar absolutely hates Rocky Drag. Oh, again, the rollback. Absolutely shocking for Interstellar. 33 centimetres. It's almost as close as their event 2 one. Now, Harbour goes underneath the tape for 61 centimetres this time round. 1 centimetre off at Antique. Now, Werewolf. Yeah, that's really close. Oh no, they're rolling back. They're not disabling. They're disobeying physics, as I said in event 2. 69 centimetres. They love the 60 region. Pineapple now. Don't remember how Pineapple did. They probably did mid, just like this finish of 44 centimetres. Mercedes. Can Mercedes do anything? I don't know. That's mid so far, 76 centimetres. Actually, that's one of the highest finishes. Now, points leader in this event. Tropical Punch is shooting by, and it's 87 centimeters in the penultimate run. Polar Bear now. I don't expect anything. Yep, and that means Red Devil wins the event right after G-Force did. Red Devil beats out G-Force this time by 14 points, which means that Red Devil will lead G-Force in the standings. Inferno is now knocked out of it. I did say that earlier. And Red Devil will be beating out G-Force by 3 points into Marathon, which is right now the true finale. Who can win it? G-Force has to beat Red Devil by 4 positions. Red Devil just has to beat out G-Force. It's 3 laps. If either championship contender, as it stands, wins, gets a medal even, they win the championship. G-Force is starting up high on the grid. Red Devil is sitting in the bad positions you want to be in for this event. I mean, actually starting from the backs can sometimes be good, unless you get stuck in a pile-up. G-Force is beating out Red Devil right now, who is stuck in 15th place. They've got to make a catch-up. I do not know who's leading. I think it's Moss, who's been non-existent this event. Red Devil has actually overtaken G-Force through the funnel. I don't know who's winning. It's looking like it's going to be Polar Bear. This is the event of the underdogs, so it really doesn't matter. Interstellar and Moss. I've literally said it's the event of the non-existent people, and really is just showing Inferno. It also, in the event where it doesn't matter anymore, is doing pretty well. G-Force, as it stands, is probably going to beat out Red Devil. I'm not sure as we go into the second lap. It's a slow start for everybody through that green seahorse section. I don't know what it's called. I think I said it in AMG finale. It was going to beat out who? I feel like G-Force is really struggling in that pile-up, which always gets the grid going. Inferno is now leading. Atlantic City in second. Obsidian in third. Polar Bear almost gets stuck. I do think that Moss is doing really well. Yeah, look at that. Moss leading the way into the final funnel. I know Moss is pretty good at marathons. They got third in event 1, and they will provisionally lead the final lap. Red Devil has beaten out G-Force so far here. I do think they might have it, unless G-Force can pull off what happened in AMG. A comeback, just like what they did in the season. Started dead last, just like what happened on the last lap. Here we go, the final lap. Who will take it all? Who will take all the glory in OM Season 1? Red Devil off to a slow start. He's getting the pack caught up. Is this tactical or is it not? Can he keep the lead on G-Force? They get stuck once again. Red Devil escapes early. G-Force though is in hot pursuit. It's really intense. Must still lead the way. However, G-Force is overtaken. Red Devil is falling down the order, and it's disastrous for Red Devil. Look at G-Force. Oh, G-Force gets stuck. It's pushed by fellow championship contender Red Devil, and G-Force has gotten stuck again. Red Devil is now struggling too. Moss wins the event, and I don't see Red Devil anywhere. So that means I can safely say he won in AMG. He wins in OM. What a day it is for G-Force, and now a 2-time champion on the channel. Absolutely stunning. Here you go, the event results. G-Force getting 7 points, Red Devil with none. Standings of the event. G-Force gets third, just like AMG. That's a very strange coincidence, and he beats out Red Devil by 3 points. I have been AlfGeek, and I am signing off. See you in AMG Season 2.